Sometimes heroes aren't born on battlefields. They're found at gas stations, holding a cup of bad coffee, just trying to get home. But when the world tests them again, when the darkness they escaped comes knocking, they don't hesitate. They just act. Rain hammered the windshield like 1,000 tiny bullets as William Carter, a 36-year-old single dad and Army veteran, steered his rusted pickup down a near-empty highway. His daughter, Bridget, 8 years old and angel-faced, slept in the back seat beneath his old field jacket. They'd just left her grandmother's funeral. Her small breaths fogged the window as the gas gauge crept dangerously close to empty. He spotted a flickering neon sign through the downpour, TWI 4, Our Fuel and Mart. The place looked half-dead, buzzing lights and rusted pumps. William pulled in, careful not to wake Bridget. She had her mother's nosy and her mother's calmness, even in storms. Cancer had taken his wife 4 years ago. He'd promised her that he'd keep Bridget safe from the world. That promise was all that kept him going. Inside, the store smelled of stale coffee and tired nights. Behind the counter stood a young woman with auburn hair tied in a low ponytail. Her name tag read Lessa. She gave him a polite smile, but her eyes, sharp, scanning aware, betrayed something else. Not fear. Training. William noticed her stance, her awareness of the mirror above her head, the way her right hand always hovered near the cigarette rack. He poured himself coffee that tasted like rust and tried to shake the soldier's instinct telling him something was off. Then, the door slammed open. 2 masked men burst in, guns drawn, shouting chaos into the silence.
On the ground. Everybody down.
William froze mid-sip. An old woman near the dairy section screamed and dropped her milk. Lisa raised her hands, stepping back slowly, but her calm was too deliberate, too professional. The taller robber jumped the counter. The other aimed at William. The soldier inside him woke instantly. Angles. Distances. In 3 seconds, he mapped the room like a war zone. He pulled the old woman behind a display. "Stay quiet," he whispered. Then he stood, hands visible, calm as water. "Hey, easy," he said to the gunman. "Take the cash. Nobody needs to get hurt." But as the robber turned his gun, William caught a movement. Lisa's hand sliding behind the Marlboro packs. She wasn't reaching for a panic button. She was drawing. Then it clicked. This wasn't a robbery. This was a sting. The cashier was bait. Everything exploded in seconds. William threw a wine bottle, Sirach, and disarmed the nearest man. Lisa drew a Glock, firing 2 clean shots into the chest of the second robber. Center mass. He fell back but didn't drop. Kevlar. William tackled him, slammed his head into the freezer glass until it cracked like ice. The silence that followed felt wrong, controlled. Too many moving parts. Lisa stood over the downed men, badge flashing under the harsh light. FBI. Agent Lissa Moore. William stared, catching his breath. "You're kidding. You just walked into the middle of an 18-month operation," she said flatly. Within minutes, agents swarmed the scene. Floodlights, cameras, tactical teams. William was pushed aside like a civilian witness while Lissa and her team turned the chaos into procedure. But when he looked out the rain-blurred window at his truck and saw Bridget still sleeping peacefully, he realized how close he'd come to breaking his only promise. And he didn't know yet that this night was just the beginning. By dawn, the gas station was taped off. The robbers were cuffed and gone. William gave his statement, ready to disappear back into anonymity. But when a senior agent named Alexandra Wilfrid arrived, sharp suit, silver hair, eyes like razors, she stopped him before he could leave. "You have training, Carter," she said, "and a clean record. We could use someone like you." He laughed bitterly. "I've already given enough." That night, Lissa showed up at his garage. The rain hadn't stopped, it just softened into drizzle. She told him the truth. The robbers were small fish. The real criminals were laundering millions through local auto shops, including one that was undercutting William's own workplace. "This is bigger than drugs," she said. "It's about money, corruption, people like you getting crushed because someone needs a clean account." He didn't want to care. But when she mentioned Bridget's college fund, his silence said enough. The next night, he went undercover, not as a soldier, not as a cop, but as a father desperate for stability. He watched Sane Garage, a warehouse front for the cartel's money. He noted every car that entered, luxury vehicles that didn't belong in this neighborhood, mechanics who didn't handle tools, only cash. Then Lissa appeared from the dark. Together they watched as a black town car pulled in. Out stepped Oliver Dante, a senior FBI agent William had seen at the gas station. "What's he doing here?" William asked.
"He's not supposed to be."
Lissa whispered. And when they saw him exchange a briefcase with the garage owner, everything snapped into focus. There was a traitor inside the bureau. They aborted the raid that night, but Lissa made him a promise. Help me prove it. I'll make sure you and Bridget are safe. Forever. He didn't believe her, but he owed the truth more than his fear. 3 days later, it all fell apart. Bridget was kidnapped. William found her tied in an office inside the same garage. Her stuffed rabbit lay beside her. The man guarding her was one of the robbers from the gas station, and standing behind him, smiling like a serpent, was Agent Oliver Dante. You should have stayed out of this, soldier, Oliver said. She's 8? William growled. Let her go. Everything's part of everything, Oliver replied, echoing the line William had heard that first night. William didn't wait. The tire iron cracked bone before the man guarding Bridget even turned. Lissa drew her gun. Oliver pulled his. Walk away, Oliver said. Take your girl. Forget this. You've killed 73 kids this year with your poison, William said coldly. You think I can forget that? He moved like lightning. Lissa fired. Oliver's gun spun from his hand. FBI backup stormed the building seconds later. The operation fell, the evidence secured, the traitors exposed. By sunrise, William sat outside his house, watching his daughter sleep in her bed again safe. Lissa sat beside him, silent. You saved lives tonight, she said. He shook his head. I just saved mine. 3 months later, at Bridget's first violin recital, she played through her nerves with trembling grace. William watched her and felt something he hadn't in years, peace. Lissa was there too, with flowers. Afterward, Bridget asked innocently, Daddy, is Miss Lissa your girlfriend? William laughed softly. Maybe one day. Then she said, next time bad guys come, can we just call her instead of you fighting them? He smiled, pulling her close. Deal, and for the first time in years, he meant it. William Carter wasn't a hero because he fought wars. He was a hero because he never stopped fighting for love, for truth, and for the one person who reminded him what home felt like. Sometimes the bravest thing a man can do is simply show up when the world needs him most.